Shalom, shalom, Akya. Yes, man. Me and Ratazar back here again, man, to do this sit down. And we're going to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ruach
Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Salutes to all the sincere elect out there. As we know it, keep on fighting. Yeah. In this year, or we're coming into the year 2026, the year of apostates, sellouts, and agents. I think, if I'm not mistaken, our older Apostle Gabar or Tahar made mention that that's going to be something to that effect for the year 2026. But it's already started, as we know. The apostasy is here.
Yep.
So the topic we're going to discuss today, the lesson we're going to discuss today about fear not, the Most High shall show forth, as we already done know, right? We've got so many. As a matter of fact, whatever you got, bring it out. Let the scripture speak.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 and verse 17. It says here, I'll start from verse 16. It says, "For thy power is the beginning of righteousness, and because thou art the Lord of all, it maketh thee to be gracious unto all. For when men will not believe that thou art a full power, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest."
Yeah, the power of the Most High is coming to show. He's gonna show forth. I tell you what, that's beautiful. But let's go up a little bit and get a bit more regarding. Go to 13, and then come down. Read up. Yeah, read through.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapters 12 and 13. "For neither is there any power but thou that careth for all."
Yeah, who's he caring for? We're talking about. We're going to go through that and discuss that today. We're going to break it down.
Yep.
Right, the elect. Yep.
It says, "For neither is there any power but thou that careth for all to whom thou mightest show that thy judgment is not unright."
Yeah, because the false balance is an abomination to the Lord.
God.
So we're going to start to see things, start falling. What's that? There's a saying, wiggle woggle, but they don't fall down. Things are just going to fall on their feet.
There's a phrase. I forgot, man.
It's like if a cat is it's holding on to something and it's about to fall, it always finds a way to land on its feet. So that's the Most High going to show things like that. That's just an example, but in visual time, it's in the spirit. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna discuss that. We're looking forward to that.
Yep.
He gonna show forth. As a matter of fact, we're gonna come back to that. Get Isaiah 45 to help me to what I'm trying to say. He's gonna explain it. Isaiah 45, I think it's around 15.
Isaiah 45, 15. Let me check it.
Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna check as well. Isaiah.
"Verily thou art a power that
That's
has
the
to
one.
show."
Yep.
Alright, so this is Isaiah 45 and 15. "Verily thou art a power that hidest thyself, O power of Israel, the Savior."
Yeah. Right, that's beautiful. He hideth himself because that's why people are so bold. When judgment is not come against the wicked, he's bold, loosely paraphrasing, he becomes bold. You know what I mean? Because, that's going to explain it too. We're going to let the scripture speak. Just like you got these tyrants, these real wicked people, what they call them, infamous criminals. They get more bold as they, more crime they get away with, they get more bold. You got it?
Good. This is Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. "Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil."
Right. That's why you hear all the Nero, how he be talking. He's talking stout, talking proud. Also, Elon Musk making way for the AI, talking, the demon, as he says it is the demon. They say they hide it in plain sight. right? The AI taking over, which is going to lead, as we know, to prophecy, the MOTB. So that's the point right there. Read that one again, and then we're going to get back to Isaiah 45, but that helps the point. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 8:11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Yeah, and that's why they're so set and determined, aka Nero, and he was the one that had Peter. Well, I actually was speaking about that last week. Peter was he was crucified, because now they're talking about, what are they talking about now? Open executions.
Yeah.
And we know who they're really targeting. Right, but Peter was executed, and Apostle Paul was beheaded. And Peter, when I done research on it, because I made a statement that Peter was he wanted to go upside down, but when I looked into it, it was because he felt unworthy. He felt unworthy to go like the same way Yahushua did.
Yeah.
So he said, let me, I'm not worthy. Let me take it this way. But which was the spirit of the Lord anyway, and it was an act of boldness.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, man. Let's get back to Isaiah 45. Peter was faithful, man. If you can receive it, that was David coming back, and he was a man about his business, man. Anytime he approached or he put his mind to something, aka walking on the water, when he saw Yahushua doing that miracle, he just jumped in. He didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of courage that he had. That's why I can see in the spirit. That's why I can see that was David. David had the same mindset.
Yeah, a rough spirit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like on that verse it says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. It's kind of like a child as well. If you don't set them aright or correct them, or they keep being stubborn, then of course you back out the cane, in order to discipline them. Then of course they're gonna be in that evil. That demon's still gonna be lingering in them. Man.
Got to set guidelines. Got to give them boundaries.
Yeah.
They're just gonna keep pushing the boundaries, because there's no boundaries. They're gonna keep on pushing and getting more confident in their wickedness. Yeah.
So that's the point right there. It's just like Esau Edom. He hasn't been fully punished or corrected quickly, the same way Israelites were rebuked really through the curses right now. Esau ain't going through no curses right now, but of course it's getting flipped now, where Esau's going to start suffering through those curses gradually, which they are, through their own economy, and eventually when we're in Yahushua's kingdom, that's when it'll be the tables are going to turn. Jay's going to be on top, Esau's going to be at the bottom.
Yeah, that's why in Malachi 1, when Yahushua was saying, in the spirit, Yahweh in the spirit was saying, he have loved us, and Jacob answered, where have you loved us? But the understanding what the love meant was the boundaries and the chastisement. All the Deuteronomy 28 curses was out of love. Because we are the people, we was chosen, not because we was the greatest, but we was the leastest. So we was the loved, and he gave us the boundaries, because who he loves, he chastises. Just to add to that point, what we just looked at, when a wicked person is not given boundaries, they become bold in it. And let's get back to Isaiah 45, because it's going to help explain it as well.
Isaiah 45, starting from verse
15 again.
Verse 15, verily thou art a power that hidest thyself, O power of Israel.
Well, that's our power. That's why we look like we're you can do what you like to us, and to a certain extent they've done a lot. They have. When you look into the history, the one of the books is Without Sanctuary. They've we've drank it all down. Let me just say it like that. We've drank it all down, which was the spirit of the Lord. But that, once again, Ezekiel 28 was the Most High showing us love by sending the enemies upon us. So we hide our enemies, think that we look weak and vulnerable because of our power. You can't see our power. He's invisible, which is not invisible to the man with the spiritual eye, but to the faithless and godless. That's why they take for granted and take advantage of us.
Yeah, that's why the scriptures talk about the Most High being long suffering as well. he's enduring this thing of which he knows Israel's suffering, but they need to go through that suffering in order to know and realize, and truly appreciate the kingdom. Of course, the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And of course, to know, all right, this is the error of your ways. That's why you went through that. Because you made a mistake with the Mosiah Yahweh.
Yep. And also there's a positive end to that. We're gonna be sitting on thrones, judging the 12 tribes. So we understand, as Yaquab said, it was Yaquab that said it, understanding the negative and the positive. Right, so that when we judge spot on.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get back to Wisdom of Solomon, because that kind of explains it as well. The righteous judge himself. Yeah. Read up to about 18 of Isaiah 45.
Right. This is Isaiah 45 and verse
16.
Yeah, verse 16. It says, "They shall be ashamed and also confounded. All of them they shall go to confusion together, that are makers of idols." That's
the ones that be taking us for granted, abusing us. When a wicked man is not chastised, he becomes bold in his wickedness. That's that one we read in Ecclesiastes. Right? Because as you say, the Most High hasn't given them the whip yet. He hasn't took out you're going to show them the beating, and then he's going to start beating. Isaiah, don't go get it. Isaiah 63. That's that grand finale, right? When he lets rip. The grand finale, when you're Yahushua, you're going to let rip. And boy, that's going to echo throughout the whole globe. He's going to come in the chariot, the fathership, going to cover the whole earth. And then we're going to see about fear. We did speak about fear, right? The righteous fear. Today we're going to talk about trust. Trust in the Lord. He going to show forth. That's the topic of this video. He going to show forth. And we're going to see about fear. Anyway.
It's true. It's scary as well, because you know those movies where you watch him, you got the main character who is going through suffering. He knows he has to hold back his anger. Can't just crash out. He has to wait for the right moment, which of course in Yahushua's context is really when the Most High says, all right, it's time now to take over. And that's when the invasion is going to happen. You can't just it requires a very high level of patience, really.
Yeah, that's real power. Restraint is a real power. Restraint, when you have the ability to just broke up something, or step on something, put it out it. That's power. That's real power. We don't know that kind of power yet. Right, us in these mere mortal bodies, the real power is when Yahushua, as he's been doing up until this very point, the scriptures tell us about that. He is holding his peace. So that's why they're able to, as I say, they haven't been shown the rod yet. Gallivanting, doing it, whatsoever they want, just like a sport child. It's very similar to Esau, how he brings up his child. How good. Well,
they're estranged from the womb.
Estranged from the womb. They are the bastard children. They're not chosen. So they can get away with a little bit more, seemingly, until the rod comes out. Anyway.
Right, so Isaiah 45 and 16, "They shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together, that are makers of idols."
Yep, and they're real idol worshippers. When you even just look at one example with the music business, they was questioning Lil Wayne. I remember this, but there was a little there's this little video now where you got this. Anyway, they're questioning Lil Wayne about what do you think this racism about the racism. He says he was stuck on that one. He was stuck. He said, well, I can't see. I'm not the right person to ask. I'm a rich black man. Because then you got these this. What's his name, man? Senator Scott, I think his name is, and he said racism. He said, why are we talking? He's a senator in the White House at the moment. I think he speaks for Donald Trump, but I believe he could be a tear. If he's not a literal tear, right? A chocolate covered Edomite. If he's not a chocolate covered Edomite, which would make him a tear, he's definitely a spiritual tear. Talking about integration. Why don't we integrate? When we drive, why do we continue to look in the back mirror we got to look forward. He's basically trying to tell everybody to forget and move on. Right? Look him up. Look up some of his statements, and then you're gonna see where I'm coming from. You know, let them look him up in their own time. But yeah, he's that's what they're pushing. You know,
you can't solve carnal problems,
right?
with carnal solutions. Well, actually, you can't solve spiritual problems with carnal solutions, man.
Yeah.
You know, the tear that you're talking about, the Senate. You know, that's the point, man. You know, as the scriptures say, it just goes down to my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge, man. They knew, okay, let's look at it spiritually, which surpasses carnal. You know, they realize that, all right, so this is why this is happening. We've got to get good with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And then, you know, you'll be good because, you know, you'll understand why it's happening. And then, of course, you wouldn't be seen as a fool in front of your enemies. You know, so let me continue this.
I'm gonna pull him up now. Hold on. Some of the things he just recently said. Yeah. This guy
Jake don't reason spiritually either. So
yeah, Senator Tim Scott. I wanted to say his name right. Right, he's a Republican. If you could see the guy's face there. And they're mocking him, you know. They've got that comedian Wayne Waynes. Wayne. They're mocking him because there was something that he said. He said what Wayne Wade said years ago, and he was referring to a rich black man. Right, this is what he said.
Talk about Lil Wayne.
No, all right, Little Wayne. I was talking about Little Wayne. I'm going to talk about
another one.
Yeah, Little Wayne. They put him in front of the camera, and this is what Wayne said in the 90s, right? He's a comedian. You could look him up on YouTube. He said in the 90s, what they do to black people who have done well, they get you in front of the camera. Yeah, he was doing stand up, and they asked you a question. What do you think about racism? And then he said, this is what they do, and they put the mic in your face. And what is a rich ninja gonna say? He said, the last thing you want to say when they're paying your wages is say racism still exists.
True.
You know, there's a lot of, they say it's comedy is one of the highest forms of intelligence, wit, and that's how the comedians be letting off their steam by getting on the government, speaking truth to power, but they use it through wit.
Yeah, little cunning ways.
Many a truth is said in jest. So this guy. So when they did it to Little Wayne, and Little Wayne, he couldn't get the demon jumped on him. He said, "What are you going to ask me a question like that for? I'm not the right person to ask. I'm rich," and he actually had to deny it. Obviously, as Wayne Wade said in the 90s, that's what's happening now with a lot of these rich, wealthy black men, comedians, actors, etc., etc. And also this Senator Scott, Democrat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you the title of the video. Comedian issues diary warning in 1990s, and it's still being proven right. Wayne Wade. He's a well-known comedian when I grew up. And then and Senator Tim Scott, I done some research on him. Republican, right? And he works with the time when Biden was in. So that's really the point. Read what you read again to get back my trailer full.
Right, it says 45 and verse 16, they shall be ashamed and also confounded.
Yeah.
All of them, they shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols.
Yep.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
Yeah, that's the point, man.
That's another cut as well. I mean, when Christians talk about what's it called, John 3:16, you know, he so-called loved the world. That world is referring to the world of Israel.
Yeah, cosmos.
You know, and that's the scripture to back it up there. Isaiah 45 and 17. You know, there's different type of worlds.
Right. And and our world is the world, as you said correctly, is cosmos, the world of Israel. Right, and that's what we are hoping for. That's why it singles. We're separate from all the other worlds, all the other people. We're singled out from going back all the way back to Genesis. We don't got to get it. Genesis 1:26, when he gave the Alahayim,
Yeah.
which were the angels, laws, separate from all the other Adamites, because there were others, there were animals as well. So we were separate from the beast, the other people of the earth, which was the serpent, and the Adamites. So that made us superior, supreme to all the other nations. So that's the world what we're talking about the world without end. It's talking about the elite, which were with Yahweh Shai from the beginning. They're the first fruits. So let's get back to that's the point. The Most High be hiding himself. He hide himself. Yeah. But we can see with the spiritual eye. But that's why you're hearing about all these, which is coming out more now with the that thing on in Australia, Sydney. You know, they're saying it's a false flag with about 15 people so far. They said, you know, with the shooting.
Well, Amalek.
Yeah, the Amalekite shooting. Yeah, and they said the oldest was around 70, no, around 87, and the youngest was around 10 or something. But there was a lot of people that around 15 people got deleted. But that's why they're doing that really. They want to come down on this truth. Yeah. They're not too happy about the fact that this truth is coming out. So they're going to create things. But as we opened up with, yeah, man, this is the time to the Most High going to show forth, not to be intimidated. Let's get back to
Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon.
17. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, starting verse 17. Actually, verse 16. For thy power is the beginning of righteousness, and because thou art the Lord of all, it maketh thee to be gracious unto all. And by the way, that graciousness is also refocusing upon Israel, more specifically the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which we say Yara Tazar, that we are those men.
Yeah, and the power is the beginning of righteousness. Are we not coming up in the spirit of the Lord?
Yeah.
Righteousness is power.
Come.
And there's another scripture that says righteousness is immortality.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 1.
So that's gonna invigorate you, right? As a matter of fact, let me we're gonna come back to that. I've just done a little fact check on something here. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. That's the topic of this the Most High gonna show forth. And I've done a little bit of fact checking. I've just done a little research here. Let's just find this. What phrase is repeated? I just tap this in, and the word "fear not" is repeated 364 times in the scriptures. Fear not. Yeah. So that's the phrase is often cited as being repeated 365 times in the Bible. 365 times in the Bible. Fear not. Or various like do not be afraid. One of each day of the year, but this is a popular so that's the point. It's one of the most repeated phrases in the scriptures. Fear not. Why is that? Why is that? The question is why? The Most High is talking to his elect. It's not about that fear. Nah, since I brought that out, there's something else I did. I just checked up something.
The scriptures talk about in Joshua 1:9 of be strong and of good courage. The fact that it's mentioned, as you said, 364 times, fear not.
As a matter of fact, we might bring that one out. Have it on board.
17 and 12.
The one you just quoted with Joshua
1 and 9.
Yeah. Finish what you're saying as well.
Yeah, Joshua 1 and 9 talks about be strong and then be of good courage. Be strong and courageous, man. Because really, we got the scriptures. We've got to understand the scriptures. Like, first and foremost, we've got the names Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So we're not in delusion land anymore. We're not under the illusion of worshipping, the idol Jesus Christ. We're worshipping or the idol of Allah. But we're not in those illusions anymore. The Most High has opened our eyes. We're not blocked. We're not blinded anymore. So really, from that knowledge alone, we have the power. We're on a level where, we have a more holistic understanding, of what's going on, which is through the prophecies of these scriptures. It's like, we got people of the world, they got like narrow lenses, man. Like horses, they got their blinders to make them focus on one path. For us, our blinders are removed, man. Yeah. In that context of we got awareness of scriptures. Come on.
Yeah, you mentioned the word whole or holistic. It goes into health. And the blinders, which when you take off the blinders, you have a peripheral vision. We got the full peripheral vision. And even if you get into the science of that, Esau, which I don't, Esau hasn't got peripheral vision. He's very limited in his peripheral vision. You don't get too deep. As far as a lot of other things as well, they're recessive because they're recessive.
Recessive genes.
They don't see things in color the way Yahshua Allah do. Scientifically, and there's a lot of other things, but that's the point. We have peripheral vision in the it's according to science, in the physical, but definitely in the spiritual.
So we got both.
Most importantly, hold on. We're gonna look at this scripture here too, because it's a beautiful one too to back up the point. Psalms 31, and read read the top. Read from the top.
Psalms 31. Alright, so this is Psalms 31, starting from verse 1. It says, to the chief musician, Psalm of David, in thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness.
Because righteousness is what?
Power.
Power. As we do, righteousness is power. So the more righteous we become, the more we come in tune for the God of thunder, the more he was in tune with his hammer when he wasn't rebelling, and he got cast out of Asgard by his father Odin, and he cast him down, sent him down to earth. He said, he took the hammer from him, he stripped him of him. He said, "You are not worthy. You are not worthy." And he cast him down, and then he was actually getting thrown down to the ground. And you heard the voice, right, which is similar with us, but basically it's very similar with us because we went off, and the Most High stripped us of our royal attire.
You're not worthy.
And that's so many words he said. You are because we went off, because we were the men of fame, innit? We were gods. We were the true gods. And he took the hammer and said, "He who holds the hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." And the good thing about that movie is that Thor got his power back, which is not many movies that you get a happy ending to. Our movie. Our life, our movie, the Most High, the producer, there's a happy ending to our movie. We won't get the power back if you saw the end of the original Thor. When he was getting licked from pillar, he was getting licked up by the frost giant from pillar to post. No, actually it wasn't the frost giant, it was the destroyer, big iron giant destroyer. He was getting licked up, burned up from pillar to post. He was losing. He was getting the L. And then eventually Odin tear cuts. He was lying down. He was in the Odin sleep, the coma, what they call today. He was in the Odin sleep, which is like the similar thing with Yahushua turning his face from us. The parallel. So Odin was in the Odin sleep. He knew his son in the spirit. He knew his son was losing, taking all those L's. He couldn't get his hammer back, and then eventually, when he was actually knocked out, left for dead, on the floor, pull it up. You might get a sense of what Yahshua Allah. The parallel, you might understand what I'm saying. There's a parallel. And
it's true.
When he was on the floor, left for dead, which he was unconscious, and then next thing you know, all you hear is and he was like, you thought, boy, that's it, he's finished. Next thing you know, his hand went up, boom, ching, the hammer just come into his hand, bing, and he just got up. What's that? Ezekiel 37. You can get that because that backs it up. Or you also Wisdom of Solomon 5. He stood up.
Great boldness.
And next thing you know, the destroyer was getting licked up from pillar to the table turned. He was licking up the destroyer from pillar to post. He done a whirlwind. Brothers know I must like them kind of movie. He done a whirlwind with the hammer. Brought up the destroyer, wheeled him up off the ground, and then just lick him back down to the ground. Pling! Anyway, enough said, man. That's Yahshua Allah. When we get back our power, right? That's all we got to do is, as King David said. So I'll read it. Psalms 31, 1. To the chief musician of a psalm of David, in thee, O Lord, I do put my trust. Right? Yep. So despite getting licked up from pillar to post, some of us even had to take it from our parents.
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know, that abusive. You ain't gonna amount to nothing, you know. Individually, that's how we get treated.
Yeah.
Similar with 4, you ain't gonna. Who are you? You ain't nobody. In you know, in our work, in the corporate world, in school, you ain't nobody. But boy, hold on. That's what they think. Yeah. I put my trust. Let me never be ashamed. Right? He was going through it in the movie, the original movie 4. He was getting embarrassed. What do they say? Before exaltation, you have to be you have to have humiliation.
Yeah. Apostle Gabar speaks on that as well. Yeah.
So that's what we be getting. We've been having that. We know what it's like. We be drinking it down. Yeah, but the Most High said, let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. And that's why we know in faith the Most High gonna show forth. Come, what you got?
Yeah. So this is Jude 1 and verse 6. It says, and the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, under the judgment.
Talking about his elect, the first fruits. We left off from our original positions.
Godly bodies.
As gods. Alahayim. Yeah? Alahayim, which means powers. Yeah. Alahayim. Which when we step out and we sin, as we know that's in, don't go get it. Barak, not Barak, Numbers 23 and 24 talks about Balaam and Balak. They took advantage of the fact that we sinned. They knew that. And up to this day, these elites, they be doing that too, surrounding us. Another movie just come to me. That I'm aware of, The Golden Child. There's symbolisms in The Golden Child. Brothers that are into movies know, you know, they see the hidden messages in The Golden Child.
It's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay.
Because they had to surround the Golden Child with evil. Because he was so pure, the only way you can keep him powerless is surrounded with evil.
Suppress him, yeah.
And try and get him to eat, which goes back to the laws,
what to say?
abominable foods. When they try to feed him with porridge, and there was blood in it. If you saw the movie, it's a good movie. There's a lot of symbolism in it. But basically, they surrounded the Golden Child. Who are the golden children today? Once again, they surround us with evil.
Yeah. And
it's literal, because I'm pretty sure your next door neighbor. You know, when you think about it, literally, your next door neighbor's you don't know what they're doing next door, upstairs, or you know what I'm saying, or even just walk down the road. You know, the other day I saw something. Which if I had I don't want to say too much on you. I don't want to say too much on YouTube. I saw this. Now we're coming up into the holidays, right? The so-called what they celebrated their holiday, right? And now you got Jake. You used to see a lot of Edomites out there singing Christmas carols and asking for money in the bucket.
Yeah, still are.
And they wear these hats.
You I saw them when I came here.
Yeah.
Just at the station. They were getting prepared to start singing, you know, the little hymns or whatnot. Probably when I go back, I'll see them again. But
you know, was they Jakes?
No. They're just straight. Well,
Edomites.
They look like Edomites.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
So that's what we be seeing that, right? Which goes into idol worship anyway. You know, paganism. But I've noticed there's a lot more Jakes be doing it, and the way this Jake was going on, it's like Jake trying to put the cool into their Jake be trying to put the salt, the cool into their high holy day. Jake be doing the dance to the Christmas. He be singing it and he be trying to do he was literally skanking to it.
Yeah.
Esau he be standing up there like, you know, Esau ain't got no salt. He just asks for money and, you know, and they be singing Christmas. Jake trying to put the cool in it. So Jake is more into their idol worship, their high holy days. He more be trying to keep it alive than them.
Yeah. The scriptures talk about. Hold on.
My people are foolish, man. That's what the scriptures say. You don't go
wise to do evil.
Wise to do evil as well. Yeah. Whatever you're holding, bring it out.
God, this is Jeremiah. Let me get this scripture. Jeremiah 2, I believe verse 10. Let's see when I should be the opposite.
Every year I notice Jake be getting even more into that wickedness, into that high holy days. You know, Jake talking about the men and the women. I saw this was a man skanking. Jake man skanking. If anyhow I would have got too close to him, I would have had to say something to him, man. He didn't. He just wasn't. He just. Anyway.
Speak to the brother.
Anyway, I probably would have said that. I probably would have just, carried on walking, bite my lip.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go on.
It's a precept. All right, this is Jeremiah 10 and verse 2. It says, thus, I'll start from verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Yeah. It says, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not.
Yeah,
let's talk about now.
Yes, talking about that's what they're doing now.
The season,
right? With the pine tree and they stick it up. And some of us grew up out of that, Lord willing, all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yeshua for taking us out of that.
Yeah, the mercy as well.
And they try to Jake that's still in it. Like I say, they're trying to keep stay in and trying to keep it alive.
Yeah.
But that just shows what kind of spirit Jake in. You can't save these people, man.
Yeah.
But as we know, that word we're talking about right now, the Most High gonna show forth His power. Let's get back to it, Lord willing. And then there's another one in Wisdom of Solomon. Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that one as well. Right, so this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 17 once more. It says, for when men will not believe that thou art a full power, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest.
When we have faith in the Lord, that what happens to you? Your lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
The way you think changes. You become more Christ-like.
Mm-hmm.
The way you look after yourself, the way you carry yourself.
More like Yahushua.
Come, and it shows forth.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the aura gonna show forth more so, and it's showing forth now, even on this low level what we're at now, which really is spiritual power. But that's the power of righteousness. That's the power of being back in tune with our power. Because does not the scripture say we shall do what he was doing? We shall do.
Greater works ye shall do. Yahushua did say it. So gradually, Yaratazar, as we have an understanding of the scriptures, which is a certain level of spiritual power, it's just going to keep increasing until that moment where bro's going to be performing miracles in this time to come as well, which we're getting closer to that time too, man. Which is really all going to be for the glorification of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because Jake going to come, they're going to see the miracles happen, and we're going to say it's through the will of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Simple as that.
Well said. Yeah, that's a good one. Read 17 again and read up to read up to about 19.
So Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 verse 17 again says, for when men will not believe that thou art of a full power, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, and we know that the
what's coming down the pipe, MOTB, there's a lot of things which we're not intimidated by what's coming down the pipe. That's the difference.
And through the multiple accounts of the scriptures as well, we know about the power that Yahweh Shem Yahshua has portrayed to Israel too.
Right, in past times, because everything that was written for aforetime, for our instruction, for our comfort.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you did have David example on board, didn't you?
Yeah, I still got it.
Alright, yeah, read that one after. Since you mentioned that, yeah.
It says, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, that makest their boldness manifest.
Yeah. Hence why let's look at the scripture, because that backs it up, and then we can come back to this. If the Spirit have us come back, we can come back. David's example.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and there's also there's other examples as well. I've got one as well.
Right, so this is it says in the blue letter title, David's victory over the Amalekites. I'll start from verse 1. 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 1. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag, and burned it with fire, and had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. So of course they invaded, they carried them out, but they didn't kill them yet. And the Most High put the spirit within the Amalekites to do that, so that
they made a raid. That's like what you hear about what pirates do. Make raids. Yeah, go on.
So verse 4, actually verse 3, it says, so David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire.
Yeah.
And their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. And then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep. So they were in a very great state of sorrow.
Yeah.
It says, and David's 2 wives were taken captives, Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal, the Carmelite. It says in verse 6, by the way, it was the former wife of Nabal, until Nabal got his judgment when you read the earlier chapters. Now, verse 6, it says, and David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved.
Yeah.
And there was so much pain. They were actually meditating a little bit of terror to execute on David, man. They wanted to start stoning him. There ain't going to be no mini stoning.
They had a low morale. The morale was dropped.
It's true. People getting emotional.
That's what happens. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's the thing with emotions, man. People get in emotional states. Like, all right, let's do something harsh. You start doing all sorts of things based on emotion. Now it says here, because the soul of the people was grieved, every man for his sons and his daughters, but David encouraged himself in the Lord Yahweh his power. It says, and David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod. Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David, and this is the key verse here, 1 Samuel 30:8. And David inquired at the Lord Yahweh, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all.
Yep.
Which really pretty much explains why we always say, Yahweh Tazar, Yahweh Tazar, Yahweh Tazar, in all manner of ways of which we're working here, and just navigating this life, man. Because David inquiring, it was pretty much getting a green light so that okay, Yahweh Shim Yahushai, Yahweh got his back, to fight these Amalekites, man. That was something that Saul lacked as well, man. He fell off on that.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
So let's go to Psalms. We read it, but we want to look up the word in Psalms 31 and read 1, and then look up the word. As a matter of fact, just go to the word in that
Psalms
verse.
31 and 1.
And go to the word trust. Do I put my trust? Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. We just saw an example of that's King David there showing that trust.
Okay, so let me get the word trust.
Which we hear that word all the time, but I want to see what the blue letter says.
So the meaning of it, when you get to the root word, it says to seek refuge, flee for protection, to put trust in the Most High, confide or hope in the Most High.
Right. David had that throughout his battles.
Yeah.
The scripture don't tell us already, man. He taught his hands to war. Yeah, he break his steel with his hand.
Yeah.
He subdues his enemies. He turns them into dust.
Make his feet like hinds feet.
David had so many words of how you call that? Words of
warrior?
Yeah, warrior words, but there's another one. He was a conqueror, man. And it just when you heard him speak, he spoke like, I got this victory, man. I got this
certainty
because of that
faith.
That word there, trust.
God.
I just looked something up out of curiosity. Just want to see what Google had to say about it, and I might see what chat has to say about it. Stage fright, because David never got that. David never ever got. Because when you think about going up against Goliath. Anyway, the word so David was the opposite, right? Let's look up the word in what it says in Google. Stage fright, meaning it says intense fear or nervousness felt before or during performing in front of an audience. David didn't know. As a matter of fact, David was the opposite. He got more bold. If you threw up opposition to him.
God.
And there was Goliath, but there was other giants too that he faced when you get into it. The history with his 34 I know it's around up there in the 30s, his mighty men, but then you had his closer mighty men, Abishai, which when I done history on that, that was his nephew. And Abishai was serious, man. Even David had to hold him back. Abishai was more of like a secret service for David, like a bodyguard for David. David had to hold him back. Talk about warrior. So anyway, yeah, David was compared to his mighty men, obviously because David had a responsibility as being the king, and he had to he knew the laws as well. So he was more, you might say, sober, balanced.
Because he has more understanding.
But there was even times when he wanted to put Nabal to death. Nabal, the wife of Abigail. So you know, his men sometimes held him back as well. David was a warrior, man. Anyway, so I was looking at the word stage fright, right? Because Lord willing, because that's what we're talking about. Trust in the Lord, the Most High shall show forth. In the time of, we can talk about it now, you know, do the sit downs, we can go on the highways and the byways. In the time of the heat of battle, that's when you see what a man's made of. So what we're doing now, we're working towards that. We're praying, as we always say. Brother, see how I like to get down, you know, behind the scenes as well. Preparing myself, Lord willing, with the backing of the Lord. Anyway, the word stage fright, because I've had it before, which I'm glad I did. In school days. I'm glad I had it, because then now I'm talking from experience and something that I don't. Anyway, let me read. Right, intense fear of or nervousness felt before or during performing in front of an audience, affecting speakers, musicians, dancers, presenters. A lot of competent people, professional people can get that. Right, but there's a difference. It's more than just nerves, causing physical sweating, rapid heart rate, upset stomachs, and mental panic, self-doubt, symptoms that can hinder performance. But it's common and manageable. But we looked at the scripture last week. That's fear. What it does to you, according to the scriptures, it acts as a hinderer.
Oh yeah, I got it right now.
It stifles you. Is the one you got the one in Wisdom of Solomon? Bring that one. That's one of my favorite ones. That one.
The Spirit.
Yeah.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse 12. It says, "For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth." It says, "And the expectation within, being less, counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment." So basically, imagine it, you know. Okay.
Well, no, talk.
I was going to say, the imagination causes more fear, you know, anxiety, worry, because it's like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Than the actual thing that happens.
That's right.
It's actually far less than what you imagined as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's just unnecessary energy that you're wasting.
Yeah, that's right.
It says, "For fear is nothing but the betraying of the succor." Succor just means the help that reason offereth. You know, we get our confidence from the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And of course, for that reason, that helps us to re-navigate this life. So therefore, we shouldn't really be fearful, man.
Yeah.
Again, Joshua 1 and 9. Be strong and of good courage.
Get that one. Well, I tell you what, get Joshua 24 and 14, and then get the one you quoted too.
Go on.
Because our forefathers, right, they was totally against that stage fright. Anyone come up in that household, right? Any of the prophets, King David household, they was about that. It was about it, man. You know, you got it?
Joshua 24 and 14?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right, so Joshua 24 and 14. "Now therefore fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua."
We spoke about that last week.
Go on.
That's the fear that we want. We want that fear. That's the fear that's going to protect you.
Healthy fear.
Right? And then, that's the balanced fear. A balance is a righteousness in the eyes of the Lord. Yeah. If I said that right.
A false balance is an abomination to you, you know, the Lord.
So we want that healthy, wholesome fear.
Go on.
Yeah, it's the Spirit wants us to bring it out. We're going to bring it out. That's the fear that protects you. That's the fear that motivates you. That's the fear that King David went out and dealt with the enemy, right? The Philistines and Samson, the Philistines, all of the Steins, and the giants too. Yeah.
Come on, man. Because you got the fear of Esau Edom, which you shouldn't have, and then you got the fear of the world really in general, and then you got the healthy fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which we need in order to keep us humble as well.
Come on.
Now Joshua 24:14. Now therefore fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yep, that's what's going to keep us in check, and kept all of our forefathers in check, kept them on the right, on the road, because the ultimate thing we want is salvation. That's going to keep us on the road. Let me just say it like that. From swaying off either to the left or to the right. Isaiah 30 and 20. Yeah. Let's hold that. Let's hold that.
30 and 20.
Yeah, and then you got you quoted the other one. That's a good one too.
I still got that as
well. Bring that one out then. That one out first, just to help the point. That's really the point, Akim. Lord willing, we made the point for you out there, the sincere out there. And it's only for the elect to go and get it anyway. But yeah. So what's coming down the pipe? We see the false flags taking place. Where when we watch the news, they're building their case.
Oh yeah.
Right. But they don't know, as we know, the Most High be hiding himself. Let them build their case, and Most High gonna let them bring it. But that's the time when Most High gonna show forth, as we know, he's gonna show forth his power. Righteousness, his power. You got it?
Yeah. This is Joshua 1:9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord Yahweh, thy power is with thee, whithersoever thou goest.
And that's really the word trust comes back. Because when you believe, when you have trust in the Most High that he's for you, and if he's for you, who can be against you? You don't got to get that. That's a well-known scripture. Because even you got some, in today's world, the world of combat, they be wearing it on their t-shirt, of the likes of some of the MMA fighters. True. They have that confidence, and it's really in themselves and what they do. They put back. It's in. To be fair, they put the work in. So if you don't put the work in, then you ain't gonna have faith in your ability, what you can do. But they'd be coming from a carnal angle, but it's still effective. Because they put the work in, but we put the work in, building our case. Esau puts the work in.
I mean, the scriptures
on the left-hand side,
the scriptures talk about, the hand of the diligent will be made fat. So when you hear, but also when you have fighters as well, like Anthony Joshua, sometimes when you watch the interviews as well, he always gives credit to the Most High.
He
does it in vain, but in his own ignorance. He's
Well, you know what? I say that to help the point, to back up your point, they're in their lot. So the Most High actually, they were warriors, or potentially they were the mighty men back in the times of Apostle Paul, because Apostle Paul made a lot of references to soldiers, worrying, fighting, athletics, etc., etc. So they've come back in their lot, and they can say. They sincerely could feel like that. Most High gave them the victory, and sometimes when they take an L, they say, you know what, that was all part of it too. So when I come back, they can be spiritual in their own way.
True.
But obviously, we're the real fighters. The prophets, the mighty man King David he had a lot of hats. Samson also. Samson was a judge. We know he was a mighty man. We know he was you might say a ladies' man too. Solomon was but I'll say this too, right? Because I kind of touched on it a little bit over the weekend. There's no way the wicked 2/3 can complain, because the Most High gave them every reflection of the world so that there's no excuse. He gave them a meek man, Moses. Moses was meek. He came to them humbly, not overbearing, but just humble. Then you had the warrior, like King David was a warrior. Samson was a judge. He was taking heads off, literally not overstatement, he was taking off their heads, the enemy. Which that was a part of the Most High's movie too.
Yeah.
So that they know that, you know, when the Most High want to throw down, he can throw down too. He used the mighty man, Samson. David too. David had more than one hat. He had a lot of different types of hats. Yeah. He was a ladies' man. Oh, I mentioned Solomon. He wrote around 3,000, which I done that in the week. 3,000 proverbs, right? Which is like almost like, you know, today they call them lyricists and stuff. Or people that into poetry. That, you know, it's a different way of saying it. But he was a lyricist, but obviously on the right hand side. And so many, also he done so many songs. He was a singer too, but he was a gallist too. So now if you say, well, we only had some rough, you sent me all these ruffians, Samson, if you want to say he was a ruffian, which he wasn't. He had many hats too, but I'm just making a point that now if a man could write all those proverbs and sing songs and have all them gal, the man, he knew he could be eloquent too. So you had eloquent, you had a prophet that was eloquent. You had someone who was a bit more, you had the rough talk, the physical men, mighty men, physical, the hands-on men. Yeah. That's another way of saying it. Then you had the meek men that was, you might think, oh, he's a pushover. Obviously none of them were pushovers, but a meek man, you might think he could be a pushover. Moses was not no pushover, because we know who Moses was anyway. But so you had all different. There was no excuse for the 2/3. Most High gave you everything for you to humble yourself, which the elect got the message anyway. Yeah. And today we got the apostles, and they come. They're versatile. They're all different characters and spirits.
Yeah, that's the balance.
That appeal to everybody, which all the elect have a character that we can relate to. Yeah. So I just wanted to make that point, you know, regarding how the Most High be, and then you got Yahushua too. Anyway, we can go on and on and on and on.
Which Yahushua was Solomon anyways.
Calm.
So that was
when he came back, you know. When he came back, as you could have related to him if you did like Yayan. Obviously, that time he wasn't the Gallis. But if you like, you know, we had all the characters we could look at and we could say, yeah, I could see, I relate to that. Today, with the modern day 144,000, among us in the camps, there's all. As a matter of fact, our brother's making a point about that. That's why it's called a body. That come together, just like the Avengers or the Fantastic Four, all different characters coming together to make a powerhouse of this word. What are you holding?
Yeah, Isaiah 30 and verse 20. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
Yeah, I just made the point. The Spirit had me make the point. Everybody's for people for people. We're spoiled in the Spirit if we can take a stop and just reflect on that and say, yeah, it's true, man. Everybody, we got everybody in Yahshua Allah, which we're peculiar people. So if you got peculiar person, there's a lot of peculiar people you can relate. You know, just for the. No, I've said enough, man. I've said enough. If you got any more you want to say, speak, bro. Yeah. As the Benjamites say, no more talk.
Let me read.
Lord willing, was edifying.
Yeah, it says Isaiah 13:20 again. And though the Lord gave you the bread of adversity, the different afflictions and sufferings that you go through, the pains that you've gone through in this life. It says, and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers, referring to the apostles here, from we got the truth from as well, the elder bishops. It says, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, because of course during the time of captivity as well, we didn't really get the truth, man. That was a time when the Most High just had a damp there until the time when I believe the 1960s. Before the elders of the apostles then taught them, the truth, and of course, they start to then come in. Yaharatazar, of course, the men of whom Yahushua opened their eyes start to come in, and Yaharatazar ultimately that we remain that we be the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Now it says here, be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers, man. And yeah, we see our teachers, man. Of course, virtually via the internet, and of course, literally for Arkim over there in America, man. You know, so that's the point.
All right. There's one more precept, you can read it, and then whatever you got, you can bring it out. Yeah, and then those verses.
20 and 3.
Yeah.
And then we get quickly. So this is Deuteronomy 20 verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies and seest horses and chariots, it says, and a people more than you, which happened to Israel many times, by the way, be not afraid of them, for the Lord Yahweh thy power is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Come on, read up to 4.
Come on. Verse 2, and it shall be when ye are come nigh unto the battle, the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies.
And it's always been about Israel, right? Even when he hideth himself, it's all about Israel. When he revealed himself, it's all about Israel.
Yep. It says, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, do not tremble, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Lord Yahweh your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. Come on.
I've said what I wanted to say. Lord willing, it was edifying to all the sincere out there. Whatever you want to say, if you got anything you want to, your closing statements.
Yeah, that's just exaltation right there, man. Don't be afraid of the numbers. Just because the numbers are high, it don't mean we can defeat them. The lowly can defeat the highly, for the lack of a better way to say it. But yeah,
all right. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.